Hi guys, I'm doing a quick update on the build, preparing for endgame content, what you need to look out for, what's dangerous, how to sustain map base, what gear threshold you should look out for when preparing for doing high-tier maps, super Ethereum labs and stuff like that. So starting out, I have upgraded all of my gear pieces, got some decent TS, total 10,000 energy shield, which is going to be more than enough for tier 12, 13 maps to start with. Training tier 14, 15, you might want at least like 11 to 11.5k, but that's going to come with levels as I take a bit more ES nodes here and put percent energy shield on my rings. Probably find some better curse Abby because this is just a stat stick for now. It's not something special. Got myself a light level 3 lighter heretics veil and all the key gear pieces needed. Sadly, I'm not ele weakness or capped for fire resistance, but it's not as detrimental as, for example, lightning resistance would be. Total cost of everything I paid for is something like 13 exalts. Like, you can probably get away with like 11, 12, something like that, because I bought most of my stuff early. I'm pretty sure you can get some 30 chaos boots and gloves that have like 200 ES, maybe you'll have a bit less than 10k, but that's going to be more than enough. I'm waiting to find a good splendor to buy because all of them are currently a bit too expensive for my taste. I got some filler piece here for like 1.5x until I get my hands on a splendor, but splendor is going to boost my ES further, and ES on rings and on gears going to take my ES well over 11,000 probably in a day or two, and that's going to be enough, because I'm still going to farm mostly tier 10s and 11s with occasional tier 12 here and there. As you can see, I'm doing some iron legs right now because they give decent experience. Experience penalty nerf is sure felt, and it's going to take much longer to reach 100. As you can see, there's nobody that's level 100 yet, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think in the long run for the game it's a good thing, but I don't like to discuss balance that much. I just do with what I have. I adjust to their balance changes. I don't like to talk about it, worry about it too much. You just play with the cards that are dealt to you. Once you start doing grand maps, you want to roll them for pack size and apply bloodlines, because that is going to be sustaining your map base the most. Blue monsters have something like triple the quantity of regular monsters, and they can also drop +1 maps. And by talking to my friends and asking questions to streamers that have been consistently doing that, it seems to be a pretty good way and not that expensive way to maintain your map base. Sadly, the Uberlab RNG hasn't given me the right enchant on my boots yet, but this Flask, in combination with the Magnate, is proven itself to be more than capable of dealing with stuns. Magnets is just amazing for a Flask sustain. It recharges your Flask on every decently sized packs, and if it's a magic pack, your flasks are back up to full instantly. This attack speed enchant is something I'm gonna be sad about rerolling, because it's amazing for movement with frenzy charges, and when I proc that 16% I get something 0.81 whirling blades animation time, and it feels so smooth and fast, and my map clear speed has been amazing. It's been better than ever before thanks to that movement speed and thanks to the trap cooldown. I cannot emphasize enough how this game is important, how it's amazing, and it was kind of a trade-off last league, because to use it you would have to need to remove a huge multiplier, the double dips. But this league you can remove poison for it, and I think that's totally worth the trade-off. The coated shrapnel jewels are like amazing, and then they give you even a decent chunk of damage. I think something like 8 to 9% total if you have perfect rolls. And it's totally worth it to use the jewels and use trap cooldown. I almost doubled my clear speed compared to last league, and that is amazing. The rest of my flask, be sure to roll proper suffixes on your flask. Like, you need the staunching, you have the heat and curses here, and for bosses that deal elemental damage like piety or stuff like that, you want a topaz of grounding. I don't know where I put mine, but you want a chemist topaz of grounding or experimenter's topaz of grounding. It's going to help immensely. And also be careful in higher maps of spark monsters, because their damage has been buffed like incredibly. I have even been considering using Stone of Lazar to get a bit of spell block, but I'm going to roll a few maps and see how much detrimental it is, and hopefully I will able to sustain it with well discipline. But if it proves necessary, you can transition into some spell block. You'll lose some useful stats from a rare amulet, but in the long run it might be worth it. I don't know yet, I have to test it. I'm currently just leveling some gems here, so don't take my gem setup. If you look at my profile, don't take it as set in stone. I'm probably gonna use something like Castor damage taken, Tempest Shield in this drilling to get max block, to get to 75 block. But for now it's just something where I level my gems in. I'm going to record an Uber Ether run later after I level, because sometimes I'm a fucking idiot and I die to traps. Haven't died to Uber Ether in like 50 runs yet, because you can cheese him with decoy totem. You just go drop decoy totem to one side, stand on another, but be careful, because sometimes when he spawns he doesn't target the totem immediately, he can jump on you, so be ready to dodge. But you can cheese him pretty easily with decoy totem, and you will see how it goes. I think today he's rather tough with charges and everything, so I don't think I'm going to go for the full buffed run. But eventually I plan to record a fully buffed run, because that's what I've been doing these last 2 days. And even fully buffed, like if it's not something too detrimental like charges, he's rather easy with decoy totem. I dropped out Wither Totem because I don't think I'd use it over Decoy Totem. Decoy Totem is something I started using late last league, but I'm going to use it more this league because I think it's amazing. Don't rush your double curse setup, because heretics and level 3 are lightened and plus 1 curse item total, like looking at 7 exalts or something like that, and it's not rather cheap, and it's not necessary in mid-tier maps. Like, you probably don't need it before level 92, level 93, when you start trading those red maps consistently. Until then, tier 9 to 11 maps are going to give you decent XP rate, and you shouldn't be rushing to doing red maps. But if you want to, if you have the money, if you can afford to, just go for it. Like, it's okay. As far as Uber Atziri goes, I'm going to explain a bit why I'm not rushing it, why I haven't recorded any runs, why I don't want to focus on it this league, and I have a little spreadsheet here and some market prices to help me explain a bit better. So, the key point is, Uber Atziri is something that you need to commit to get decent amount of profit from it. Like, you can't just go in and do few runs and expect to get a good profit back. You need to commit to it, you need to farm it at least for a few days before you get to see substantial profits. But based on stuff that I found by googling and based on my personal experience, because I've done hundreds and hundreds of Uber Atziri runs since its introduction, currently you can check all these prices. I didn't pull this out of my ass, I did my market research. 30 sets will be around 35x total cost, because Mortal Hopes at 2x and entire sets is like 2.2 exalts or something like that, 2.3. So in those 30 sets you can expect to get something like 1 acuity, 2 disfavors, maybe 3 disfavors is lucky, but I wanted to give you an idea of your average RNG. I didn't want you to expect something that you're realistically not gonna get. 1 acuity, 2 disfavors, something like that, 9 splendors. Maybe one of these splendors is going to be S-based version, other splendors are probably gonna be garbage, so they're going to go for pretty much the same price as Vertex. And 8 vertexes. And you'll get something like half an X worth of maps on average. Sometimes you get like barely any maps, sometimes you'll get tier 15, but it will average to something like half an exalt. So it's about 1 exalt return on average set, like considering the price of the cost. That means like you pay 35 exalts for the cost, you get like 1 exalt profit, so after doing 30 sets you're like something on an average on like a 5x deficit, but you make up for it because you'll get some good drops. Total profit after 30 sets on average is about 24 exalts, and that's given average RNG. Like, you can get screwed at RNG. I had before runs where it took me like 40 to 50 sets to get acuity. I've had runs where I got acuity in like 30 sets, but I got no disfavors in between. Like, this is not something that's always gonna happen. You can get lucky and get 5 acuities in 30 runs, don't get me wrong, but it's not something you can realistically count on. So average profit is going to be like 24 exalts or less. It's going to take you, at least with my build, I was doing 12 to 15 minutes runs on average last league, and that's like 6 to 7 hours. If you're a bit slower player, you're not experienced with Uber, it's probably gonna be something like 9 or 8 to 9 hours, more like 9. So that's basically, if you play a lot, your entire day of playing to get this 24x profit. And if you don't commit like full day, at least a full day to it, you probably won't see any profit at all. If you just go in and do like 4 to 5 runs, you're probably going to lose money. And I don't want to commit this league to doing like a full day of Uber at Siri or a couple of days of Uber. I'm just going to do a run for you guys mostly, but I don't want to commit to it because I'm fucking tired of it. It's not something that I'm looking forward to. I've done it to death so many times on so many builds, and it's just like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'd rather farm some Uber Lab because it's still kind of fun for me, at least for a while. Probably do some of that, see what I get. RNG hasn't been great. I haven't even gotten the damn enchant yet, let alone something better. I didn't even get a chance to enchant my Heretic's Well because these boots refuse to roll the correct enchant. But yeah, so don't go do Uber at Scenery. Just few runs and expect to get immediate returns. This is something you need to commit to, and if you're doing that, you might want to beat more damage on your passive tree than I've taken. Like, you might even drop like these 3 nodes and just get as much damage as you can, because one-shotting stuff in that zone is much more important than having insane ES numbers. So you want to take all the efficient trap nodes first, and then take 4 Shaper, consider like Fatal Toxins and maybe even Entropy when you get to higher levels. And that's gonna be pretty good. Like, maybe even run Temporal Chains instead of Discipline, but Triple Curse is hard to set up and I'm not sure how worth it is, but I think Enfeeble plus Vulnerability is going to be just fine. So that's about it. I'm going to record some maps later and some Uber runs, so you get some more content later today, some more videos to watch if you want to, and thanks for listening.